everyone, Miss Elizabeth here. Today we are going to make our very own bowls out of discarded magazines from the library. And we're going to do so using balloons. So if you're wondering exactly what it is that you signed up for, it's called balloon balls because we're going to use the balloon to make bowls. So the first thing that you're going to want to do before we get any further is you're going to want to blow up one of the balloons. I put a few because, sometimes something could get messed up, but you can choose any balloon. It doesn't matter what color because we're actually going to be just using it kind of as a base. So any balloon, if you're having trouble, you can ask a grown-up to help you. And we just want to blow it up pretty big. Okay, that looks pretty good. So I'm gonna tie my balloon. And again, as a grown-up for this part, it can be tricky. Okay, I've got my balloon. So you're gonna need somewhere to anchor it. So I found this plastic cup. So I'm gonna use this. You can use any sort of thing. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually tape it in so that while I'm working on it, it's not like moving around, because look, if I don't have that, it's moving everywhere. So if you have some sort of paper or plastic cup or bowl or something, and then I'm just going to use a little duct tape, because again, remember, we're not keeping the balloon. So it's totally fine to put tape on the balloon. So now it's secure. I can put it right here and you guys can watch the craft and it's not going to move. Awesome. So you'll see you got a little individual Mod Podge and a foam brush, and you got a magazine from the library, and you might be like, hey, why do we have that? I thought we were going to check them out. So those are discarded. Every year we make room for the new magazines. So these are old ones. So you can cut them all up. You're allowed. That's why it's in your craft kit. And to get them up, you also got some scissors. So I'm going to put my balloon over here. You can cut it. You can rip it. I'm just going to rip a couple strips to start. Now, you can do this a lot of different ways. If you look on the internet, people have done this with confetti, with tissue paper, newspaper, comic books, all kinds of different types of paper. You can shred it up and use tiny, tiny little pieces of paper, more like confetti, or you can cut different shapes and kind of layer them over. I am just gonna rip and just try to see what I can cover this with. It can really, it's up to you how you want to rip them. So, alright, maybe I'll rip one more page, then we'll be ready to start. Now, you don't want to get glue anywhere, so make sure that maybe you're doing this outside, or if you want to put down like newspaper or something underneath your balloon, because you don't want to get glue everywhere. I don't think your parents want you to either. Okay. So we gotta uncap our Mod Podge because they're brand new. So you might need a grown-up to help get the seal off. That little in-between part. Can Miss Elizabeth get the seal off? Oh, that's tricky. Okay. Progress. Okay. Got it. Alright, so once you got the seal off, you can put this back on. And what we're going to do is we're going to put the Mod Podge on our balloon, put a strip of paper on, and then put more Mod Podge over. Okay? And we're going to keep doing that until the balloon is about halfway fully covered, because then it's in the shape of a bowl. Okay? So it's going to be a little time consuming. If you want to pour your Mod Podge onto like a paper plate or something, or if you do kind of have newspaper laid out, you can, put a pool of it somewhere. We just want to make sure we don't get messy. So I am just going for it, friends. Okay. So I'm putting some Mod Podge. And, ooh, good thing we weighted down. Okay. Mod Podge. And then stick it on. And then I'm going to put more Mod Podge over it. So the piece of paper has it under and over. And what I've learned with this craft, and what I've learned from other people who made this craft, is you can't use too much Mod Podge or paper, so don't stress about it. I think I might have made my strips a little big, though. I'm noticing like it's kind of wrinkling a little bit. So maybe I want to try my next piece to be a little smaller. So here, I'm going to cut my next piece in half. We're just going to try to cover this initial part of the balloon to make a bowl. And it does not have to be perfect. I think that is going to be part of the charm. This is going to be like a crafty bowl. It's going to be fun. So it does not need to look perfect. It's okay if you have wrinkles. It's okay. We just want to make sure that's all covered. That's the most important part. We don't want any holes, right? Because if we have any holes, then there's going to be a hole in our bowl. We don't want that. Okay. Ooh. Good thing I put stuff down. I'm already dripping. Gotta be careful. Oh, and see, I already have a hole, so I'm gonna need to put a little piece of paper right there, because otherwise I'm gonna have a hole in my bowl. So I'm gonna put this piece of paper over my hole. Perfect. Ooh. All right, you guys see how it's coming along? Okay. Okay. So yeah, I'm not going to make my bowl super big. It's going to be on the smaller side for me. You can make it as big as you want. Oop. That is why you can make your balloon as big as you want. You really have options here. It is your project. I'm not doing great not being messy with the Mod Podge, though. Gotta be careful. And if I forget to say it, when you're all done, be sure you send us your pictures. I want to see how you guys made your bowls. Okay. All right. So now, well, I don't want to use anything too big. I think we learned not to do that. Oh, let's get there. Okay. That's still a really big piece of paper. I hope it wasn't too big. So see, what's nice is now I can kind of hold this while I'm doing the top and stuff. Need more glue. Now again, remember, you can't have too much paper or too much Mod Podge. So it's really, really okay. You want to just make sure that things are thoroughly glued down. And it doesn't matter if there's glue more on the bottom because we're going to pop the balloon in the end. So that's not a problem. Okay, I think about 2/3 way. Yeah, I'm about 2/3 done. Okay. And again, remember, it doesn't have to be equal anywhere. It's okay if... Ooh. Okay. All right. I keep thinking I'm almost done, and then I'm like, oh no, I'm still have a long way to go. See, I still have all that part. Now, we're just obviously going to make a little basic one, but since you do have other balloons, I did see online that you can make these thicker because it's gonna be a pretty thin bowl, you know, something just put little things in, maybe on your dresser or something. But if you wanted to make a bigger, a stronger bowl, what you can do is you can put a layer of paper on, let it fully dry overnight, and then put another layer of paper on, and you can do that as many times as you want. So the more layers you have fully secured on, obviously, the stronger your bowl will be. So I saw one online that someone did like 4 or 5. So obviously I am just doing one layer. So you'll see how that turns out. But hey, if you have time and you want to, you can do as many layers as you want. You might run out of Mod Podge, but you can get Mod Podge at any store. You can try using a different kind of glue. You can see if that works. But Mod Podge you can get at any craft store. It's just a certain type of glue that a lot of people use for crafting. Okay. Well, it's certainly not even, but I think it's pretty good. Maybe I'll put a little bit more. There's a couple little spots. If you're near a light, I have a light right above me. I don't know if you can see, but you can kind of look and make sure, oh, do I have any holes? Because I think the worst thing is you let it dry and then you find that you have a hole and you didn't even know. Now, I've done one short layer and I've used maybe 1/4 of this Mod Podge. So you definitely can do more layers, or you could do a second project. Obviously I included the magazines because those are fun, but you could use something else. You could, if you don't want it to kind of look like this, you could separate it by color, or you could do a lot of fun stuff. I think there's a lot of cool options for this project. Okay. I'm debating about maybe I put a little bit more. I'm going to put a little bit more right on the top because that's going to be the bottom of the bowl. So I want to make sure that that is strong. Can we put paper down? Or else I'd be getting glue all over myself. Okay, well, I think this is probably almost as good as it's gonna get. If you see any paper peeling away, definitely try to put some more Mod Podge on there, because soon we're just gonna go let this dry. So we really want to make sure that everything is down. Just making sure there are no holes. I think I did pretty good. Okay. No holes. So now you're going to want to find a place at home that you can let this dry. You know, if you have pets, you don't want to leave it out where a pet could get to it, because we don't want them to eat the Mod Podge. So maybe put this up somewhere high, have a grown-up put this somewhere that can dry overnight, and then tomorrow, or in just a few minutes in this video, we're going to take this out, we're going to pop the balloon, and we're going to see how it looks. All right, see you in a minute. Okay, and I'm back. So I have let my balloon bowl dry overnight, so it feels pretty dry. I admit I do see a couple of holes that I missed, so definitely make sure that you don't have any holes. We'll see how it turns out for me. So the first thing I'm going to do is take it out of this little base I made, so just whatever you were kind of anchoring it down with. And remember that we're going to pop the balloon, so it doesn't matter if the tape's still on it. So the easiest way, and you might want to ask for a grown-up's help, is we're just going to cut it right where the knot is, and then it's going to shrink. You could pop it, but this works too. It's a little safer. It's not going to be as loud. Okay. So once it starts to deflate, you can kind of cut it a little more, help it along its deflating journey. So it's like caving in on itself. Okay, so yeah, it's pretty easy to just unpeel. Let me see. I'm just unpeeling the balloon. All done. Okay, so this actually doesn't look that bad. I have a couple holes, but I do have a little bowl here. If you wanted to, you could like fold down the edges. You could even do another round of the Mod Podge on the edges if you wanted. You might want to go for the jagged edges, but you might not. So see, I just folded down my edges. So maybe I'll put a little more Mod Podge and let that dry. But otherwise, this is pretty cool. This is a bowl that we made from magazines. And this was relatively small, and it's actually pretty big. Is it like the firmest bowl ever? No, but can we put something in there? Can we put our school ID or house keys? Yes. So this is super cute, and like I said, there's so many different ways that you can do this. You can do it by color. You can do all kinds of different designs. Please, please, please send us your pictures of your finished products. I want to see them. Email us at fmlchild@rcls.org, and I look forward to seeing how your magazine balloon bowls turned out. All right, have a great day. Happy reading.